Oh, I'd just been out to the shops, and while I was at this, came to the letterbox. I took one look at it and thought, oh, it's UKIP because it's in the UKIP colour scheme. But it's actually about the Marta Andreason defection. Now, this has been known about for a week. So in terms of how fast this by-election campaign has been going, they're a bit slow to get this out. So this is obviously their last jolt. I don't know if they particularly put this into homes where they suspect people may be voting UKIP. They might suspect that because I've got a big UKIP sign outside my house. But Marta Andreason, I've mentioned this earlier. I blogged about this a few days back. I don't know why, but she's resigned. She said it was over the Hamiltons joining UKIP, which I admit is a dodgy business. Hamiltons were Conservative MPs. Sorry, Andrew Hamilton was Andrew Hamilton. Anyway, Mr. Hamilton was a Conservative MP. He was involved in a sleaze scandal, although he was never convicted of anything, unlike Chris Hoon. But anyhow, she sent some stroppy emails around recently, and eventually she's left and she's joined the Conservatives. Which, okay, she has a right to do that. It's obviously embarrassing, yeah. But this is really bizarre. The Conservatives have promised an in-out referendum on the EU, yeah, and Mick Jagger promised to be faithful to the various women who he had one after another, and more to the point, the Conservatives promised us a referendum on the Lisbon Treaty, which they were in a position to deliver, but reneged on it. Now, this is an in-out referendum on the EU. It's been sort of half promised in 2017 if the Conservatives win. By then, we'll be so much further down the throat of the EU python. It remains to be seen if we'll get out at all. So this is a blatant attempt to get UKIP voters to change their mind and vote for FIona. I say Fiona, actually I shouldn't say that really, I just think she does look a little bit like Fiona from the Shrek films. If we painted her green, I'm sure she'd look very like her. But anyhow, having said that, send a powerful national message. Yeah, there is a way to send a powerful national message, but it ain't voting Conservative. Interestingly, the last bit of Lib Dem stuff that came through my letterbox, which I've done a blog about, I've just been out to film now, I'll put that up after this. Normally they show the poll figures comparing Conservative and Lib Dems, which are usually quite close, with Labour a long way behind, saying Labour can't win here. Well, actually, for the first time, this is the first time this has ever happened, they've included a UKIP figure, which, according to them, is 17%, well above Labour. That's the first time they've ever included us in that. So it just shows that we are rattling some cages and making some progress. Realistically, it's very likely the Lib Dems are going to win this election. It's up to the voters. People have got the right to make a choice. But we're certainly rattling their cages and we're giving them a run for their money. A lot of people say, don't vote UKIP, even though they represent what you really believe in. Vote for some party that says they believe in some of those things and might get elected. But the Conservatives are only even talking about these issues because UKIP is on their trail. The more people vote, the more they will know that they need to change their policy, and they're only even talking about offering this referendum because they're afraid of losing votes to UKIP. Anyway, let's make them sweat for it.